How you doing, John, man?
I'm good, Steve, man. How you doing?
So, who's your favorite black person, man, dead or alive?
Dead or alive? I'd have to say Frederick Douglass.
Frederick
Dude,
Douglass.
dude, I consider to be one of like the three or four people you could call the greatest American that ever lived. Uh, I just think his story's insane. Like he was a slave, became free, you know, like wrote and learned, wrote so much about the cause of like ending slavery. Was a big voice behind that. And then obviously his writings during the Civil War were an influence on me, and his actions after the Civil War. He was the first black man to ever be on a national ticket for president, as vice president. I believe it was Susan B. Anthony. They were on a ticket together. Yeah, and yeah, just the man's story, his courage, his writing, his intelligence. His influence on the country. So that'd be probably my favorite ever. As for alive, I'll just go a completely different way. I would say like Stevie Wonder, just a big influence on me.
Love Stevie.
Yeah, he, just the man's brilliance and the fact that he's blind. And, I was listening to My Sharia Moore the other day, the fact that he can talk like about how he feels about people because he can't see them. So his attractiveness, the things he has to say are like so much more genuine. And the fact that, his disability has not stopped him from being who he's going to be and being the legend and being the genius that he is. Definitely an influence. And then just more recent times, I would definitely say people like Jay-Z. Just because, and you laugh, but just because the man has brought himself up from being in a situation where he had to deal drugs and just to survive on the streets, and he's brought up, he's created an empire. And
Yeah,
the man,
he's above that.
yeah, he's literally just, and he's got
He
his
ain't gotta
fingers
sell
in so
drugs
many
no more.
pies. He's so intelligent. The way from Rockaware to his Rock Agency to like just the way he handles everything with business. And then, not for nothing, but he got Beyonce, so we all just need to bow down to him for that. Let's be real. Um, other like I could name like 100 other people, but like just if I'm also going like we'll go back to some people who are dead, and these people are kind of nameless, but a lot of people don't realize that a quarter of the men who fought in the revolution were black. They were free men, and they needed, it wasn't all just loyalty. They needed work and whatnot, and these were a lot of men when the British were telling them, if you fight on our side, we'll make sure you're free, and they said no, we're gonna fight anyway for this side, even though we know half of them want us in chains, and even more, and the other half don't really have a problem with that. But a quarter of the revolution, was black men, and I don't think those dudes ever get the shine they should be afforded, and it annoys the hell out of me that it isn't brought up more. But yeah, I would definitely say them. So,
Wow. I'm glad you gave them their homage, man, and
oh
thank
yeah,
you for that. Earlier today we were talking about like I'm a big boxing fan. You said
yeah,
you're a
man.
boxing fan, and I mentioned Jack Johnson as a person that I
Hmm.
look up to, and you agreed on that sentiment.
I did.
Why is that, man?
Because of his I don't even know if I can call it courage, because the only way you can have courage is to be afraid, and Jack Johnson feared nothing. And he was a man who lived at the beginning of the 20th century who just said, I'm going to live my life how I'm going to live my life, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it, because I am the heavyweight champion of the world. I am an accomplished businessman, and I'm going to date white women, marry white women, and I don't care what you think about it. And if
Yeah.
you have anything to say, come to me, because I'm the baddest man walking the planet. And before Muhammad Ali, before Joe Louis, before anybody like that, before Floyd Mayweather, before Roy Jones Jr., that was Jack Johnson was the baddest man in the world and had no problem living the way he was going to live. Like I said, I don't think it's courage, because the man didn't have no fear. So for him to just have no fear in that time, that's just incredibly inspirational.
Okay. I still say on the Jack Johnson
Mm-hmm.
topic. Like, do you know how his life ended? Do you know anything about that?
I'm trying to remember. I always like. There's so many. In boxing, I love boxing, so I read a lot of these stories. Could you remind me?
Well, I'm not exactly sure where he was arrested,
Mm-hmm.
but they arrested him for miscegenation,
Mm-hmm.
being um, married to a white woman,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe it was in the first place that came to mind was Alabama, but I think me and you agreed that it could also have been Mississippi.
Yeah, one of those.
He was arrested and he went to jail. He was around like 32 or 31, and he died in jail.
Yeah.
On some like mysterious causes and things like that. So I believe that's what happened to him. We need to do a little bit more research on that, but yeah, he was definitely arrested for being
And
in
just
relations with what
let him
white
to have
women.
no fear and just say, no, I liked her, so I
Yeah.
was going to do it. And he knew what he was facing, and he even did that, and he still went into Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee. He didn't care.
In the places where all the like the racism was very much alive at that time, you know.
Not only alive, but like flourishing, you know.
Yeah.
And he just, you know, he, like I said, he had no fear. And, you know, did it cost him his life? Yes. But that's the point. Like, he still wasn't going to be afraid, even if it cost him his life. And we still say his name to this day. So
Definitely.
he ended up being right.
He legendary. All right, man. We're gonna I'm gonna segue into like a little bit more fun topic.
Cool, man.
So I'm gonna do a little vocabulary with you, like Urban Dictionary vocabulary.
Sure, no problem.
I don't know if you're familiar with the Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, a little bit. I grew up in the 90s.
Are you familiar with like rap of any kind?
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
So, are you familiar with the word swag?
Of course.
What's swag, man?
Swag is your attitude. Like, a lot of people confuse it with like what you got or what you got on. Swag is just all the way you carry yourself, man. Like, the swaggiest dudes ever, you know, or some of the, you know, are not guys who had like a ton of stuff. Like NWA, they didn't exactly have cars or anything like that. They had more swag than anybody you could ever imagine. Like, try telling me Eazy-E didn't have swag or MC Ren didn't have swag. Yeah, MC Ren's got so much swag you can literally still see it to this day. You know, it's all good, man. And then, like, back in the day, the originators, the biggest first hit was the Sugar Hill Gang. You ever seen the video for Rapper's Delight? You know, he's up there on like just a stage with a disco ball, and it's just them in sweaters going hip hop, hip hop, hey to the hip hop, blah blah blah. You know, he's just doing
like that song.
Oh man, it's the best. I can actually do that song, but I don't want to show off here. But yeah, like those guys had so much swag, and they were just talking about, you know, the color TV so they could watch the Knicks play basketball. That was their swag, you know.
What does the word on fleek mean? You know?
On fleek. See, these are like 2010 words.
Yeah, exactly.
And like I know what on fleek means. It's like it's hot. It's, you know, another 2010's word is fire. It's all that. It's on. You know, it's the shit, man. Like back in the day, we just said that's the shit though.
Already, you know, we got a influence. We got a different little influence right there with the new agers coming in and putting their little piece in on it. Okay, do you know what a bando is?
A bando?
A bando.
I did at one point. Remind me.
Give me an educated guess, dog.
A bando? Oh God, this is gonna sound so stupid.
It's cool, bro.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Just give me your best guess.
A bando, I believe, is isn't it like just a like a bad motherfucker? Am I wrong about that?
I mean, yeah, kind of. A bando is an abandoned house that either people are squatting in people are like selling drugs in out of. Don't worry, these are like rap terminology.
Yeah, no. You're absolutely right. I haven't heard that one in a minute. Like, because usually, you know, like
Kevin Gates coined that term.
Yeah, like you usually just call that the crack house.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, or you know, like
a broken down.
It's not always about drugs. It's just like an abandoned house and like maybe homeless people living in it or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like another terminology. It's something we his hip hop influence lingo.
Yeah,
Do you know what cream means?
Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money, dollar bill, y'all.
So you're familiar with the song?
Oh, Wu-Tang, man. You know, I love Wu-Tang.
How many members from the Wu-Tang Clan can you name?
How many members can I name?
Yeah, can you name them?
RZA, Jizza Genius, U-Dog, or U-God, Ghostface Killer, Method Man, Inspector Deck, Capadonna, Raekwon, Master Killer, and am I missing anyone?
Ghostface Killer.
I did say. Did I not say Ghostface Killer?
You said Master Killer.
Master Killer's in there too. It's Master Killer, Ghostface Killer, Raekwon, U-God, Inspector Deck, ODB, Old Dirty, Method Man. Did I say RZA already? RZA and Jizza Genius. Yeah, 9. And then also Redman kind of gets in there sometimes because he's cool with meth.
Man. And so, another one more word for you is bootylicious.
Yeah, of course I know that, man. Are you kidding me? Like, I remember when that video came out. I was in love.
Whose video is that again?
Oh, come on, man. Like, Destiny's Child.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I just gotta check you, man. I'm just trying to see what your knowledge is, dog.
See, now you got me thinking about that video.
Oh my God.
I was always a Kelly Rowland man myself.
I do.
I love Beyonce, but Kelly was my girl.
Okay. All right, well, I think this concludes it, man. You seem like you're pretty knowledgeable, pretty privy to what's up, and I thank you for your time, John.
I thank you, man, and just a shout out to Steve for holding this camera. His arms must be tired at this point. So we'll wrap this up, folks.
All right, thanks so much, man.
No problem, man.